Oh, this what they've been waiting on? Ha ha ha! It's the Gringo and Tom Show! Let's go! It's the Gringo and Tom Show, y'all ready to go? Late night sports talk, y'all ready to go? Gringo be hitting his points. Tom coming in and he won't disappoint. Nah. He be swinging for the fences and striking you out. Yeah. Now let's see what this is all about. It's the Gringo and Tom Show, y'all ready to go? It's the Gringo and Tom Show, y'all ready to go? Ready to go, ready to go. It's the Gringo and Tom Show, y'all ready to go? Hey, it's starting right about now.
All right, welcome to another episode of the Gringo and Tom Show. My name is Gringo and got my boy over here.
It's your boy Tom. What
There
up?
we go. All right. Well, let's get straight to it. We got some storylines for the week. Yankees had a very interesting week.
Oh, that's
they
one
went
way to describe it.
2-2 against the Orioles, and they just played their first game against the Rays. Let's first and foremost talk about the Orioles series. What did you think about how we did in terms of that series?
I think it was a good series overall. That last game obviously didn't go our way, but you know what? There were a lot of good things, including Aaron Judge being a beast, Stanton being a beast. Things you like to see if you're a Yankees fan. I want to see much more of that. Give me those Stanton bombs.
Oh yeah,
Those are
without
the
a
best
doubt. When I
ones.
saw that bomb by Stanton in
Oof.
that game, I was just like, oh my gosh, if only he just stay healthy for an entire year. Like,
Right?
I
I
would
mean, come
love
on,
to
man.
see that.
Dude, it would be so awesome. I love it when he gets the
100%.
fastball right down the middle. He makes that out in front powerful swing, and that ball just never comes back. It's the
You
signature
don't.
Stanton swing.
I just like the fact that as well, like with this with the Orioles series, we were able to bounce back in a sense and just basically brush over that opening series loss.
Yeah, that was rough. That was definitely rough.
Exactly.
But that's why you play 162. It's a marathon and not a sprint. And the Yankees
100%.
hopefully continue to think about that after the last two games.
Which we will talk about the third game of that series, the extra inning one. A lot of people were saying about Gleyber Torres's error
Oh,
basically
man.
decided the game, which is not the case because with these rules that we're having with having a man on second in extra innings, I just, more or less, I'm just it's just such a wild card type of situation. It's just
Definitely
very
is.
disappointed me that they just dogged on Glaber for the loss.
Yeah, I know Glaber. He's been getting a lot of heat. He's in a defensive slump right now. He's making a lot of mental mistakes, but I think he'll get out of it. He's still just 24 years old, guys. 24. He's 24. And it wasn't just his fault. Jay Bruce probably should have made the scoop at first base, but that's how it went down. Yankees just didn't hit with runners in scoring position, and we always focus on the one play that ended up losing the game in the end, and that's what happened. But no, it wasn't just that. Yankees were also a little bit flat on the hitting side, so move on, go to the next game. But unfortunately, the next game didn't go so great.
Yep. So the Yankees played their first game of the series against the Rays, in which they lost 10-5. And I'm going to make a statement right now. I'm going to make a hot take right now that I believe that Corey Kluber is washed. He more or less, the Yankees should have not given him the 1 year, $11 million contract because although he's a two-time Cy Young Award winner, he is on the older side. The Yankees have a tendency to get really good pitchers past their prime. Example, Randy Johnson, going way back. Um,
All right.
they love to get players who are past their prime, especially starting pitchers like that. So I'm just more or less just was very disappointed that he just didn't. He hasn't had it these first two games, and I was
You're
just
right. You're
it
right.
just really blew my mind.
Gotta pump the brakes just a little bit. I know he hasn't been good. He's been, what I've seen is that in the spring training, he didn't know where the ball was going, and he's just looked a little rusty, which is expected of a guy who's barely thrown any innings since 2018. But, you know, I saw that against the Blue Jays, he was able to locate the slider. Didn't really happen today against the Rays. I think he's just going to get, hopefully, he gets better and better as time goes on, as he starts to get more innings under his belt. But I am mildly concerned about him. I don't know if I'd call him washed just yet. I think we got to chill out a bit, but I think he's a
I'm
little concerning. A little bit,
I
just a
think
little.
the reason I say washed is because of the fact that he's coming off that injury in which he just pitched an inning last year. And also the reason I say that is that he's washed is because of the fact that when scouts were looking at him, there was a lot of teams there, but the fact that the Yankees went out there and just say, "Here's $11 million. You're gonna be our second starter." Like more or less, the Yankees should have done a better job. They should have done their homework. They should have gotten another pitcher on the younger side, more or less like maybe 30,
Hmm.
31, 32 years old. And if they really wanted Kluber, they could have gotten him at maybe like 7 or 8. And they could have also just instead of plugging in him, people were saying, "Oh, he's good as the number 2 starter." They should have put him as a 4 or a 5. That's what I think. At least
Who,
that's
what,
what I'm thinking.
who they've gotten though? Like, what? What's what they've gotten?
I know Brian Cashman. They what they should have done is they should
Ah,
have checked someone out in the West, in the NL West. They have a lot of young
nah,
pitchers in
man.
the NL West. They could have gotten someone for a couple of prospects, not the big
Dude,
level guys, but more
dude.
or less just some who are just middle down the road, like Cashman likes to get. And that's what
Nah,
I think they should
bro.
have done. They shouldn't have gotten a Kluber for this type of deal. That's what I think.
I mean, I guess a guy they could have maybe gone after.
Overpaid.
It's tough to say that just yet. But I think a guy they should have maybe gone for was the guy who went to the Padres, Joe Musgrove. He had a really, really good 2020. They got Tyone instead, though. They got another Pirates pitcher. I like the way he pitched, by the way. But on an aside, I kind of see what you're saying. I mean, Luis Castillo was out there too on the Reds, but I think that was the best the Yankees could have done with what
They
they
would have
had.
had to. I heard the conversation that they would have had to give up Glaber. In those conversations,
Heck
from what I
no.
heard, they would have had to give up Glaber, and that
Not a chance,
we're
bro.
not giving up that type
Not a
of talent,
chance.
especially for a Castillo who's about to be almost 30.
I like him a lot. I like Castillo, but you're right. I'm not going to give up a 24-year-old. Gleyber Torres, as much as he struggled a little bit at shortstop, he's played like what 40 something games at shortstop since he's been in the majors. Give him some time. If he really continues to struggle, then we start to write him off. But give me Torres over Luis Castillo, man.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
I think they did the right thing getting
So
Kluber.
that
I'm
brings
in the
us
minority.
to yeah. I understand. Like you have to put him in a not a pit. Like he needs to put he needs a little bit more time to develop, especially since it's been a year and a half since he's seen live hitters and it's been an important game. So I understand your point, but I'm just more or less just like I'm frustrated in the sense that the Yankees gave him $11 million when he should have been given maybe like 7 or 8 million, and the Yankees could have traded for someone who's in their late 20s, get a young guy there, see what happens.
I don't
That's what
know.
I'm thinking.
I think they did fine. I think 11 million might have been a slight overpay, but I think they did
Yeah.
fine. They didn't do
Okay.
badly, they just did fine with what they could
Fair
have
enough.
done. Did
Fair
their
enough.
best.
which brings us to our second headline, which is the Mets game
Oh
yesterday.
boy.
Mets and Marlins.
What a
Mets won
meme, bro.
3-2 against the Marlins. On a very controversial play between Michael Conforto. It was
Controversial.
1 ball, 2
Indeed.
strikes, 1 out, and he leaned into the pitch. And
Oh boy,
the
he did.
umpires, what did the umpires say afterwards, Tom?
That he was hit by the pitch and that the Mets win the game. Oh boy. Oh
And
gosh.
then they had the audacity to check the replay. What were they gonna do?
Dude, these umpires just don't know the rules. Because it's not their fault. It's that the rules are just so convoluted and messed up. And they're hard to understand. Like, why can't you review that? Why?
It's so stupid.
I don't get it. I don't get it. They can't, apparently they can't do a replay if it resulted in something that happened, like it was a home plate event, like a ball or strike, hit by pitch, a walk, something like that. That can't be overturned. So stupid. Well, because
One
yeah,
thing,
balls and
one
strikes.
one thing that I suggest that Major League Baseball should instill is maybe call it something like a impactful play. Like
Yes,
let's say like
absolutely.
impactful. This I will challenge. I will do an impactful play replay. Check this out.
Yes,
Doesn't matter. One time, just one shot. You get one shot in the game to figure out, hey, I feel like this is very impactful for this game. Let's have a booth review and let's see what we can do with this. But you can only have one. Doesn't matter what the play is. What do you think, Tom?
yes. They actually do something like that in Little League, and I think that MLB should have something like this. But it should only be for like if it's in the last play of the game.
How about you know how with basketball they do like the final 2 minutes they can do reviews, and like with football they do like the final 2 minutes
Yeah,
you can like the umps
that works
can
pretty
like the
well.
referees can check. How about let's do it maybe like seventh or eighth inning? From the seventh or eighth inning on,
Ooh, some guys would
just
abuse
one
that.
play.
Some guys would abuse that. But just one play. That's interesting. If it's just
Yeah,
one
just one
play,
play. Like
that would make
and
a an interesting strategy for sure.
yeah, and it's like more or less like how do I say this? In terms of that play, like if you do get it right, if they check it and it's good, um, like you're not gonna have a second opportunity. It's like, okay, you got it right. That's it. Like you're not gonna have a like another shot as another
Oh, I
impactful
see.
play
I
review.
see. I think that could be good. I mean, I don't know if I'd have it in the seventh inning. I probably would just have it in the ninth. But I like
Right?
that idea of having it late in the game only.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
think they tried to do that, but like have it so that you can overturn plays that you couldn't normally overturn. So we don't have these game winning plays that don't make any sense. Where the umpire literally goes out to the public and says, I messed up. And it doesn't change anything because they can't review the play. It's a
It's so
joke.
frustrating.
Finally, the Mets are on the winning end of this, though. It seems like they lose every single time these things
True.
happen. So I guess good for them on that front. Can't hate the
Exactly.
Mets too much.
Ah,
It is a
the,
joke, though. It's a joke of an umpiring job.
those little brothers of ours,
Well, not the
just
umpires, just the honestly the rules. The rules need to be fixed.
yeah.
The umpires didn't know the rules because the rules are just impossibly weird and dumb. Pretty much.
Speaking of the rules, we're going to our next storyline, which is Trevor Bauer investigated for using a foreign
This guy.
substance
This
during his
guy.
last start.
Oh, this guy, man. You know what? I think he did this on purpose. I think he
You
wanted
think
to
so?
test Rob Manfred. Yeah, man. I think he wanted to test Rob Manfred. That
Stick it to him.
Yeah, Trevor Bauer is the type of guy that would do this. I feel like what he did was that he heard that Manfred said he was going to crack down on substances, and he's like, bet. And then he just tries it. I don't know if he actually did it or not, because it could have been the catcher.
He's a big troll. He's a big troll
He's a
anyway, so
troll.
I wouldn't be surprised
I
if
know
he
he
tried to
did that.
troll.
Because he's so like he hates the Astros because he thinks Garrett Cole, Justin Verlander did that when they won the World Series, and he might be right about that. I actually think he is right, but
Mhm.
I think he really wanted to stick it to Manfred. He's like, you got to catch these guys when they're They're cheating, and if you're not going to catch me, then who are you going to catch? And he caught Bauer, so, you know, I don't, as a Dodgers fan, I don't know what to make of this because I heard it could be 20, 30 game suspension if he gets
Oh my
caught guilty.
gosh. But the
So,
thing though is like, what was it like in January? You remember the Angels bench guy or whatever? He was
oh
getting
yeah, that
like
guy.
he got fired because of the fact that he was giving players such as Garrett Cole, Verlander, etc. He
He
was
got
giving them
busted.
substances when they would go to the West Coast,
Yep.
and he got fired because of it. And like more or less what Barrow wanted to do is just like you said, try and catch me, because you apparently have not caught the people,
He's the bad boy.
especially the big guys such as Cole and Verlander. You got to step up your game.
He's honestly making, in a roundabout way, he makes baseball better. He's one of the most weird guys. They call him the mad scientist, Bauer. He is a weirdo, but he makes the game more fun. I gotta say,
That's what I'm
love him
saying. You
or
got to
hate
add
him.
some spice to this. Got to add some spice to baseball, especially like Fernando Tatis. And now
Yes,
Bauer is adding in some. He's always been extra. He's always been an extra type of player, which I like.
you always gotta like that. And also,
Yes.
Tatis, recover well. Please be back soon. We love you.
Yes.
I hope that shoulder's all right. We need to see Tatis play. I don't want, as a Dodgers fan, I just don't feel good about the Padres losing Tatis.
Yeah.
I don't feel good about it. He
And
makes the
another
games more
thing too
fun.
is he is, although some people might not like admit this, but he is the face of baseball right now. Like
I would say
obviously Mike
so.
Trout. Mike Trout is the best player of this generation,
Without a doubt,
but
without a doubt.
Tatis Jr. is right now the most important player in terms of like revenue and overall just more or less just people coming in to be interested in the sport, just like the interest level.
He's
Because
saving
he is the one
baseball.
that brings the spice. He brings that energy that baseball needs, and that's why I feel like he is the face of baseball, while Mike Trout is the best player in baseball.
I really like that, the way you worded that, because I think that a lot of people nowadays, the younger fans, he really brings them in. And a lot of the older fans who are, I don't want to say they're ruining the game, but they're kind of trying to overpower the game with their old school mentality that just doesn't work with this new generation. I like how Fernando Tatis Jr. is really trying to break out of that. He's trying to just show that
It's
baseball's
because
fun. It's a game.
because the older heads, as I call them,
Yup. The
they more or
boomers.
less say, "Hey, I know more baseball than you. I've seen more baseball than you,
Yup.
and you can't tell me that baseball has to change because I have viewed it in this manner for so many years. I don't want to change my ways." And that's why
That's
baseball is
exactly it.
always behind
Yup.
in terms of sports and culture.
Yes. Yes, definitely. They've been kind of stuck since like the mid 2000s. They haven't really broken out of that. And I think Tatis Jr. is just the exact way that MLB is going to cater to the new generation because he just has so much spunk and energy. He's like a lightning bolt. I hope he recovers from this injury and is smashing dingers, making those ridiculous throws, scoring on pop-ups, doing everything he does at 100%
Dancing
health.
after home runs.
Dude, he's amazing.
Yep. Speaking of another talent, let's talk about the White Sox new youngster,
Ah, you know what I
28-year-old
mean?
Yermin Mercedes, 8 for 8 in his first 2 games in the big leagues,
What a
and that
beast.
485-foot bomb that he had a couple of days back.
It makes you wonder what the heck did this guy not do that made the White Sox keep him in the minors for all these years?
Yeah,
Like
28 years old.
he's 28, dude, and he's a rookie. Like where has he been? Where's he
At
been?
first, at first I thought he was Cuban because certain Cuban players they defect from Cuba and it takes them a while to get to the United States,
Yeah, we
such
saw
as
that with
um
Gurriel.
Gurriel
Mhm.
and Gurriel's brother, although Gurriel's brother is
A
younger,
little
but
younger, yeah.
he came in at what? Gurriel came in at like 28
Yeah,
years old.
pretty old
Yeah,
for a rookie.
but that wasn't the case for Mercedes.
No.
But this guy's raking.
Oh, dude, he is. I really want to say that he's going to keep this up, but I don't know. I feel like the pitchers are going to find holes in him, but he's got so much bat speed. He's a fun guy to watch. He's another one of those comes out of nowhere types.
113 exit velo for
That's
that
Stanton
480-foot home
territory.
run.
Stanton territory right there.
Yeah,
Those are not numbers that you'll hear from many hitters. Stanton,
he's a big
Judge,
boy.
he's up there, dude. He's got a lot of bat speed. I want to see what the White Sox do with him. I hope they put him in like some sort of a platoon so he can keep playing and maybe help them get to the playoffs because he's fun to watch. He's super fun to
Yes,
watch.
yes.
Love some Yermin.
And let's see if that Mercedes magic continues for him.
I like it.
So,
Mercedes
yeah,
Magic. I like it.
yeah. Hey, we can
It's
coin that as his
catchy.
new nickname.
We're gonna keep watching him.
Yeah.
Let's see if it keeps up. Can't wait.
Speaking of surprises, let's talk about the Angels. 5-2.
I'm loving it, dude. I love the Angels. I've always been a believer in them, but they never quite put it together because they just can't put a pitching staff together, no matter
For
what
their
they
life.
do. No. And then they've also given Pujols too much playing time, but that's a whole nother issue. Now you're starting to finally see Trout be awesome, Rendon be awesome. We saw that last year, but we're seeing other guys step up. Like Justin Upton hasn't been awful. He's kind of finding some
Jay
youth in
Up is
that
coming
bat.
back.
He's got lightning in that bat, dude. He still can hit a ball a mile. So there's that. Jared Walsh, a young guy, he can hit the ball a mile too. He's taking some time away from Pujols at first. Pujols is still getting his time, but younger player. He's getting some time to prove himself, and he's just running with it. He's got a lot of power. So they got him. They got their catcher's not bad. Stassi, he can really defend back there. They got Fletcher, the good defender, at second. They got some interesting things going on.
They got potential.
Definitely got potential. Pitching staff's better too. Dylan Bundy and Otani too. Otani,
Oh yeah.
he's put
And
on a show.
thank God he's healthy after what happened during that Sunday night baseball game.
Yeah, we talked about that on Monday. It turns out he's
Yep.
fine. He's got a little bit of
Yep.
a blister, so he's not going to pitch, but he's fine, that's amazing to hear.
Yeah.
Love
So
Otani.
yeah, got that Angels magic, and let's see if towards the dog days of summer the Angels are able to continue their success.
I sure hope so.
Being 5-2 right now, let's see what happens. It's early. Yeah.
It is early, but I think they have a shot. I think the A's are not looking so great, and there's no other teams in that division that look like they're going to give them any kind of a problem besides the Astros. They're
I could
tough.
see them as like squeaking in as like the second wild card.
Me too, man. Especially if Otani stays healthy, they're good. They've got a better bullpen. They've got a better just about everything. They improved everything a little bit, and it's going a long way. I'm glad for them. They made some sneaky good pitching signings too, with Jose Quintana, and they got Alex Cobb in the trade. Sneaky good moves. Alex Cobb, my last name, my namesake.
Yeah.
Rooting for him.
Third cousin.
Yeah, unfortunately we're not related, but I hope he does
jokes.
well. Cobb magic.
Speaking of family, this is like unrelated, but Ahmed Rosario, he is my third cousin. Ahmed Rosario is my third cousin.
Awesome, man.
I've messaged him through Instagram. He's liked my comments, and he, although I haven't had real contact with him, more or less just like, let's see what happens with him. Let's see.
He's got a lot of talent, dude. It's exciting. And then you're also related to another Cleveland
Eddie
Indian.
Rosario.
Yeah, Eddie Rosario. He's an outfielder on the Indians. That's awesome. Two talented players, for sure.
Exactly. It's just the fact that there are players that have family ties. It's just great to see.
Loads of fun, man. I hope I hope Eddie continues to get better. Because he got much better last year.
I'll buy a couple of jerseys in the future.
Awesome, dude. Yeah, maybe sometime they're gonna gonna shout you out during a game. They'll be like, my boy
But one thing
Emilio.
though, I bought a Rosario shirt that said Rosario, New York, and 3 weeks later he got traded. So I
Hey,
jinxed him in terms of that.
it's a time capsule.
Uh,
Oh man,
well,
that's cool.
but
That's so cool.
we're coming to the end of our show. But before we go, we're going to do a This Day in Baseball History.
Yep.
All right. On April 9th of 1981, Fernando Valenzuela on opening day made his first major league start in place of starter Jerry Reese. He blanked Houston on 5 hits and got the Dodgers a 2-0 victory. Wow, Fernando Mania started in 81, and just imagine, like, the crowd, the noise. People didn't know that a 20-year-old rookie from Mexico would just change the Dodger town.
Yeah, he made a huge impact. He's in those 80 teams, dude. He was it. And then he had the no-hitter. Oh, I love Valenzuela. As a Dodgers fan, I mean, obviously I wasn't alive back then, but dude, he's got a special place in Dodger fan history. He was an awesome pitcher, one of the best in the franchise, because they've had some great pitchers. He's been around forever.
Oh, yeah.
He's one of the best. He definitely made his mark.
100%.
Definitely made his mark. Loved it.
Yeah. Well, with that, we end the show, and we'll see you next Monday on the Gringo and Tom Show. Hope you guys enjoyed.
Go Yankees. And go Dodgers.
Go Yankees.
Oh, this what they've been waiting on? Ha ha ha. It's the Gringo and Tom Show. Let's go. It's the Gringo and Tom Show. Y'all ready to go? Late night sports talk. Y'all ready to go? Gringo be hitting his points. Tom coming in and he won't disappoint. Nah. They be swinging for the fences and striking you out. Yeah. Now let's see what this is all about. Let go. It's the Gringo and Tom Show. Y'all ready to go? It's the Gringo and Tom Show. Y'all ready to go? Ready to go. River ready to go. It's the Gringo and Tom Show. Y'all ready to go? Hey, it's done right about now.